Oh, I even cut myself in the process on my leg from a stick. I'm injured. I might have to make a bush plaster. Senzo, do you remember that day? Do any of you actually remember the day that I was on bushwalk? It was quite some time ago. Well, it feels like it was ages ago. And I cut my finger on a piece of grass because only I could manage something like that. And then I decided to make a plaster out of a silver cluster leaf and then pieces of grass and silver cluster leaf bark and twine, and so made a twine, and then around my finger it went. So that was quite funny to see. Right. Oh, hello. No, are you going to say? I thought we were going to see the white-crested helmet tracks, but they didn't sit on the tree for long enough. Now, Jason, you've said that it's craft hour with Tayla and Senzo. Oh, yes, yeah, we can totally do things like this. I'm sure you're all well familiar now that I don't mind trying to make, well, jewelry and outfits out of the various items in the bush. I think it's quite fun, and I always think it's quite a challenge. Perhaps we'll have to challenge Ali tomorrow morning. I'm going to think of something, but maybe we can see who can make the best bush outfit. How does that sound? What do you think? Do you think we should do that, Alice? What do you think? Tomorrow morning. Won't do it now though, because this is now leopard and lion hour as we get to the golden light. Okay, so Alice, you've got to remind me first thing in the morning, in case you have just tuned in, you're wondering who is Alice and who am I talking to. Alice is directing the show today. And so we'll do that. We'll tell Ali, we'll just surprise her tonight. We'll give her a fair amount of warning so she's not completely taken off guard. But I think we will design outfits tomorrow. We'll have a fashion off, seen as though it's the two girls doing the safaris for the next week. So it could be quite fun. We can see how creative we all are. And I'm lucky. I'm going to make sure I'm driving with Senzo in the morning because, like I said, not quite fashion queen, but definitely a fashionista. Hey? He's so trendy. Senzo, we need to show everybody your outfit at some point as well. We'll have to get you off the car. We'll set the camera up. Or you're just going to have to join in tomorrow with the outfit too. But you've got to wear what you're wearing now. No, it's so cool. So I just, I feel like I even need to put my collar up now, so that I can. That looks so untidy. I could never drive like that. I gotta make sure that I fold it. My collar must be straight. Okay, where are we going to go to next? We're on Bubbleshoek Boundary at the moment, going towards Sydney's Dam. I just spotted a buffalo track on the ground. I drove over it as I saw it, so I wonder if a couple haven't come onto the property. We'll just keep an eye out here. A few Duggar boys, we have been seeing them. Leopard tracks. Let's just have a quick look here. No, not leopard tracks, lion tracks, but old ones. You might be able to see them. I'm not going to jump out to point them out to you, but just in the tractors, that big tread from the tractor just over here, you can see a couple of tracks and just going in through there, and they're old lion tracks, probably from 2 mornings ago or so. Not particularly clear. They are on the edge where we don't normally drive, and I remember that the grader came through here like 2 days ago, and that would have been the big tires and things that they were grading the roads with would have been dragged by a tractor. So I think it's all from the same time. And I think it's also the entire pride that was walking around here. Okay, that's quite cool. Right, let's carry on. Oh, I have a riddle. We're ready for a riddle. Oh, Senzo, you don't even know this now. So I play games with the viewers. Well, we always play games, but we've started doing riddles now. So you've got to guess this one too. But if you can't shout it out, you can only tell me what you think it is off air. You've got to give the rules to Senzo. And no searching on the interweb for the answer either. Now, Jamie, you were actually asking for your Sunday riddle. Right, I'm actually going to stop to do this one because I've got to see if I can remember it off of the top of my head now. It's quite a long one. But it's not a difficult one. This is an easy one, and I'll be disappointed if you don't all get this. Are you ready? Are you concentrating? Pens and papers out, please. I have a face like a tree, skin like the sea. I'm a mighty beast, but vermin frighten me. What am I? #SafariLife with your answers on Twitter, and hopefully some of you will get it. Now it'll be interesting. I wonder if anybody in Final Control has shouted out the answer. But Ali has indeed arrived at the Chitwa Dam, so I'm sure you're going to see lots of wonderful animals, and we'll come back with the answers to the quiz a little bit later.
We have arrived, but we have to carry on moving. I feel like all of the gremlins are following us around, so we're almost at the dam wall. We had some pretty waterbug for you guys to look at, and a nyala as well, that we're just hoping we're going to be able to see once we arrive to a different angle. Fortunately, we had a bit of a bag squirrel, and we are almost there. So let's see what's in there. We love big ways, and we drove into the Molowati today, and what a beautiful treasure. Particular see if maybe we can drungo or this little bird into the tree. I wonder if it's a drunk.
Whoa, you're back with us again. Sorry, I'm just checking behind me. I keep thinking that I'm going to find something wonderful. Right, so sorry about that. Let me just go back because I thought I did see some tracks over here. I'm not sure why the gremlins always attack Ali. They're very rude. No, it's again those old lion tracks from the other day. Right, but we are still continuing down our way. We're not far from Sydney's Dam. We're just sort of at Gallagher Shortcut Junction now. So we've taken our time. We haven't really been going too quickly. Hey, who on earth was walking here now? There's so much activity going on here, and I don't know, we didn't come driving around here, so I don't know who or when these tracks were all deposited on the ground. There was a lion track, or was it a hyena track? Let me just have a look here. I mean, you can see straight away when you're just looking down on the ground. Look at all of the vehicle tracks, turning, doing circles, all those types of things. I just want to pull this out. I just want to check. I have seen a track here. These are lioness tracks coming in. So I wonder if this is not in here again. And they're going down that way. I wonder if this is not the same lioness that left the footprints on Gallagher Shortcut, or at least one of them. Okay, so they've come from Buffelshoek. That's good to know, because at least you're starting to put sort of this puzzle together. So that's where they were. They've been on Buffelshoek, now they've come this side. Right, so we're going to go all the way down towards Sydney's Dam, I think, and then we'll start weaving in and amongst those roads. Just checking, it's getting very cool now. The temperature definitely feels like it's dropped a couple of degrees. And like I said earlier, we're getting to that golden light period when the cats will become more active. Okay, so there's a couple of answers. Let's hear them. Now, I believe most of you have guessed correctly in saying that the answer to my riddle on this Sunday afternoon is an elephant. You are all correct. I told you it was an easy one, but it's quite a nice riddle. I think that's actually one of my favorite riddles. So I hope you enjoyed that one. But I'm going to start searching for some more difficult ones now too. But I won't be telling you which websites I'll be checking, otherwise you'll just be doing exactly the same thing as me. Right, Ali has fended off those gremlins, and it seems as though she's got the African fish eagles to help her do so.
African fish eagle indeed. Whew. Seems like that fight with the gremlins was quite exhausting for all of us. We thought that they were going to get the best of us, but they didn't, and we are rewarded with the sight of one of my favorite birds. They've got probably one of the most beautiful calls out in the wild, so I'm hoping that maybe this one will start calling. The partner is not too far, just sitting on another branch of a dead tree, so maybe later on then we'll see them. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the same pair that has been nesting at Chitwa for the last few years, so they are quite well known for everyone around. I think maybe this one, because the dam is so full, is just maybe waiting for the right opportunity to come down and just catch some fish. It would be pretty epic if we did see it, because I haven't seen a fish eagle catch anything in quite a long time. The Egyptian geese, on the other hand, I think they're feeling that all of the attention should be for them all the time, forever, always, until the end of time. I think that's them agreeing. Oh my goodness. Ah, look at that. Well, that's nice. They're doing their bonding display, so we are in the presence of a male and a female. And they're just kind of talking to each other and to all of the other geese around that they are the dominant ones of this particular patch of the water. You see the size difference? They are pretty much standing next to each other. And then the one on the right is smaller than the one on the left. Ruth, I agree with you. They are very pretty birds, but they are just very noisy. I think, maybe I can relate to them. They've got a bit of Hispanic, South American, Venezuelan in them. We're always shouting and screaming. I wonder what they're... Are you gonna go down into the water? There are quite a few of them. I think they're gonna go down to the water and probably start looking at the rest of the geese. There are a few more that we can see on the ridge. Maybe they're... Oh, sorry, I thought I heard one of the hippos, but I think it was just a vehicle moving around. So no, not the hippos, just one of the cars at the lodge. But, and the Egyptian geese just coming and moving all around. I think maybe that car gave them all a fright, because they've all gone quiet all of a sudden. Hello. I wonder if maybe they've spotted some crocodiles down at the bottom and that's why they're all coming out. It's also just that time of the day where the sun and the light is becoming a bit softer. So maybe they're just starting to find a spot where they would like to spend the evening in. Look at it, just busy tucking away all its feathers. They almost seem like very soft creatures, don't they? Chris, you'd like to know how the crocs manage to see in the murky water. Well, I think it looks murkier than what it actually is. It's not completely transparent or clear, but it's still clear enough for the crocodiles to move around. But also you must remember, if the crocodiles want to try and spot anything, they'll also be able to put their eyes above the water and then their nose and smell what's around and then hear what's around and see what's around, and then they come and they can approach their potential prey from underneath the water very, very slowly. They'll also pick up on any movement in the water, any vibrations in the water, and that's an extra aid that they'll have to come and see everything else. As you guys can see, this dam is pretty big, so I'm sure there are quite a few crocodiles around, but for the time being I cannot spot not even one. We're gonna stick around with this pretty but noisy birds, but in the meantime let's see what surprise bird Tayla has got for us.
Go away! Go away! Is the bird that I have sitting on a knob thorn. Now there were more than one of them, but of course, do you think that the others were going to stay and hang around so we could show you all of them? Nope. Just the one has decided to pose very nicely for the camera. And they are really beautiful birds. They were actually dust bathing just down in the road, and I'll show you their dust bath tracks. That dog that you can hear barking is one of the anti-poaching dogs. We're just right here at the warden's house, in fact. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to... What have you got there? Oh, a crested barbet. Senzo, your bush eyes have come on very quickly this afternoon. It normally takes me a couple of days before I start spotting things. But well spotted, so it wasn't just the go-away bird that was there. There's also a beautiful crested barbet. But let me show you these tracks quickly. Hush, hound. We're trying to do a show here. Do you mind? So rude. Dog. No, of course, those dogs are very important. They sniff all the cars that are coming into the property. Oh, no, they didn't it's not really a clean track. I'm trying to see if I can show you a nice dust bathing track, but it is quite difficult. So yeah, so those dogs are there. They smell all the cars that come into the Sabi Sands to make sure that they have not got any illegal weapons or perhaps trying to smuggle something out. So it's important. It's very difficult to see. The sand is not actually as fine as what I wanted it to be, but if you look very carefully over here, you'll see their tracks, and this is where it was sort of sitting. But I think maybe I disturbed them before they could give us a proper demonstration of a dust bath and then leave their tracks behind, but they were playing here in the sand. So I think we might see a couple more birds this afternoon. We're having a dust bath, but let's move away from the wardens' houses. Don't know why the dogs are barking. Maybe they've seen something. Oh, there you are. Go away, birds. Look at them. Let me go back. I just want to get the car to be a little bit more level. They're eating berries, I think. They're just over here. Now, don't fly away, please, because you're so beautiful. Here they are, just jumping off to the right. Now, let's see, have a closer look and see what tree they are on. Looks like is it a guarri of some sort? We'll have a closer inspection, but how's that balancing act though? Holding on to just a twig in the beautiful golden light. They were feeding on it. I don't know if they were getting berries or what they were picking off of it. Let's have a look. Maybe it's just a very small bush willow. No, it's a bush willow. It is one of the bush willows, but a very small one. Look how tiny it is. It looks like it's a very, very tall tree with just a couple of branches poking out the sides and only a few leaves on it. Oh, okay. You look like you're getting ready for your... Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. What I wanted to say was it's losing its leaves as we come into the winter months, so it's looking a bit bare. Who else is moving in here? Can you hear that, Senzo? There's rustling in this grass. Now, I can't see who's rustling in the grass. My suspicion will be one of the spurfowls or one of the franklins, but I can't see them. But they're making quite a noise though. Okay, and our search continues. Now I'm driving all the way up WildEarthTV access because it's a good road, especially if Tingana was around One-Eyed Pan and is suspected to be coming this way. And maybe what we'll even do is we'll just take this little road over here, and then we'll go up Triple M just a small amount, just to have a quick look around. Let's see if we can pick up any tracks of him crossing over. But again, a very busy road that is, so anything could have happened during the day, and there might not be any evidence of it anymore. I have seen a whole load of cars going up this road just in the last 10 minutes, which is not ideal for us, or not ideal for the guys looking and searching hard for tracks. But let's check here. There's a nice big termite mound that Tingana sometimes likes to sit on, just off to the right of the road. Maybe we get lucky and we see him there. I have found him a couple of times there before. But any ones in particular that are healthy. If you'd asked me last year during the drought, I would have said before the lions got the white mussel disease, I would have said any of the predators. They were thriving. But that, of course, has changed now. It's a little bit more difficult. But everybody's looking good. The elephants have all put on weight. The buffalo have done a huge transformation. So I think, Gary, in terms of animals that have done a transformation from the drought from just a couple of months ago, I would say the buffalo are looking really good at the moment. The Impala are looking great. Not so much the males. Some of them are looking a little bit thin after they've expended quite a bit of energy racing around and chasing after females and chasing away younger males. So it's a bit difficult to answer. And also the birds are in great nick. Lots of food around for them at the moment. So everybody is fairly healthy and fairly good condition. Let's keep searching. Oh, so this is the termite mound that I was telling you about. It's just in here, but Tingana is not sitting waiting for us. So that's the one I was telling you about. You can just see the sun peering out. So where it is, that's the little mound. But beautiful, and not a bad spot to sit, of course, so I don't blame him for wanting to sit there. But let's continue a little bit further down the road. Now, I am going to try and pay as much attention as I can to just checking the little track where most of the cars don't drive, and obviously everybody drives just here in the middle of the road. There's no real thing about left and right when you're in the bush. You just go, and if there's a spot to pull over, whoever gets there first pulls over. And I do want to see if I can't see maybe a leopard track coming out here, but we've still got a little bit of a way to go before we get sort of in line with One-Eyed Pan. That's just a bit further along. And I think I might switch radio stations as well, maybe to the Western channel, to see if I can hear if they've relocated him again. Let's turn that up, not too loud, just so I can just hear the voices and make out what they're saying. Right, no tracks just yet, but it's getting to that time where the animals are going to start moving around. It's really beautiful. Whoops. And we get away from these corrugations, which are terrible. Now, as we're driving around, we've been having a conversation about traveling over the last couple of days now. There's a car coming behind me. It's racing, and it's going to spoil my chances of seeing any leopard tracks, but let's just let it go past. So, Vicky, your question was, is there any landmarks, or how do we remember all of the road names? Sorry, I've just had a convoy of cars go past me, and we're going to get covered in dust now. That was quite loud. They're landmarks, but not the landmark that you're thinking of. Not a big, statue of anything. You maybe get a termite mound that resembles something. So we have to use natural sort of landmarks. So, for instance, like that termite mound I just showed you, with a big tree sticking out of it, there's a landmark for you. Or maybe a big rocky outcrop, or a tree that the elephants have pushed over, like there's big marulas that the elephants pushed over on quarantine. So there's different things like that, but it just takes time. I always find that the first reserve that you work on is the hardest property to learn, because you're still trying to understand the dynamics of navigation in the books without your GPS and without, proper street signs and that type of thing. But then after that, it becomes fairly simple. And I said it this morning, so the most important thing that you need to learn when you move on to a new property is where north, south, east and west is. Because from there, it's really easy. And then, of course, learn your boundaries. If you're on a property that's massive and an open system, like what we've got here in the Greater Kruger National Park, you obviously can't drive everywhere, so it's important to learn those boundaries. So normally when we learn maps, we start from the outside and work our way in. That's a technique that I've always used. Learn where the boundaries, the fences are, then start remembering where the dams are, and then from there the roads all just connect and eventually they lead to a spot. It's not too difficult. I don't pay much attention when I'm driving around. Again, we were chatting about it this morning. I'm too busy getting distracted by everything else in the bush to really worry about what's going on what road we're on. So it has taken me a lot longer, but I'm there now. I'm fairly confident. Oh my goodness, look at this. Senzo, what are you doing here in the bush doing filmmaking? Thank you so much. I feel as though Senzo is in the wrong career and he should be making bangles. Don't you think? Isn't that beautiful? That's much better than what I did. I feel embarrassed now. I'm going to have to make him another one. Yours is much better, Senzo. Thank you very much. That is the most beautiful gift I have ever been given. Isn't that great? Do you want me to put it here? Should we show them? Let me do that. That might be a bit easier. How lovely that is. Look at that perfect plaiting. Much better than I could even dream of. Now we need to add it. So I just wanted to check. Perfect. It's going to fit beautifully and it's going to look so nice. Look at that. Against my baobab bracelet. And then we'll see what else we can make bangles out of here. We'll start testing. We'll just start cutting away at young bits of bark and then we'll go from there. But thank you, Senzo. We can put it on when we stop next time. No, there's another. Why are these cars driving so fast? Says me. The queen of driving fast. Only when I'm trying to get amazing sightings for you, though, I promise. Right, what else are we going to find around here? I think we're actually going to turn off of Triple M now, and I think we'll go down on a long Impala Plains road. And we'll go give it a bash around there, start weaving in from that side. Because there's a car and it's hot on my heels, but I'm going to escape it. It'll never catch me. It probably will. It can probably go a lot faster than I can go. Especially if I'm only in second gear. That won't let me get anywhere. Now, I don't want to let them pass me. The reason why I'm stopping them is because otherwise Senzo and I are going to eat their dust. And there isn't much of a breeze to blow the dust off. So we're going to turn in a moment. But they can just be a little bit patient. Right, let's go. On a safari. Alice, you're very quiet. I miss hearing your voice in my ear. Thank you, take care. You were just saying, did you? No, I don't know if I heard that correctly. Did you say that take care said that the pattern looked spectacular or the bracelet looked spectacular? Oh, the light. Oh, I thought that you were talking about my beautiful bangle that I've just been given, but you weren't. You were talking about the light. The light is beautiful. I'm going to show you it now. I'm going to show you how gorgeous it is on this open area with all this long grass. This is fantastic. It'd be a great time to have a photo shoot, I think. Right, I'm just going to pull off over here. I don't want that. I want just grass. I don't want shrubs. I'm very picky this afternoon. Right, and then I'm going to drive, just pull my car off of the road. Wendy, off you go. Look how gorgeous this is. Now, where's Tingana when we need him? Or a pack of wild dogs, or even the Nkahuma Pride walking through this lovely golden grass. It is beautiful. And that's the time of the hour. It's now at its absolute best. It's not too harsh. And it's also sort of not too orange. I always find sometimes your pictures can go, oh, hey. Just listening to the radio for a moment. I thought I heard something. No, it wasn't anything that we can go to. I don't know what they said, something on Simbambili. No. We're going to send you across, and it sounds like Ali's still sitting at Chitwa Dam, and she has got an African fish eagle, her friends, in the beautiful golden light.
Beautiful golden light it is for this beautiful eagle. Isn't it stunning? Can you guys see it properly, and how, that golden color is slowly starting to reflect on the water and then back onto the fish eagle? You can definitely see just what a majestic creature this is. Very, very powerful bird, overseeing all of its territory. I think this is probably one of the most tranquil settings we've had for a little while, because the Egyptian geese have not stopped going on, and they're just not too far from us. So I actually want to see if maybe we managed to get a look at all of these noisy partners we've had here at the dam today. Because the fish eagle, it's almost like, the professor just looking into the distance and looking at us. John, they do, oh look, it's looking at us, or it was at least. They do look like the American bald eagles. They actually are related, if I'm not mistaken. I think very distantly related. But, both of them, I believe the bald eagles also eat fish. There we go, hello. All of them flying into the safety of the water. You see, because the fish eagle doesn't really eat ducks, and they don't mind having the eagle too close to them, but if it were another type of eagle, maybe they wouldn't feel as confident. Whew, let me get my head out of the way. But I think we have maybe a, 30 odd Egyptian geese around here? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, well that's quite a big flock of Egyptian geese. I think this is the most I have ever seen. Ha! Bye-bye, little goose. We're gonna leave Chitwa Dam and we're gonna head off to find some more light, but let's go on to Brent in the Mara, who managed to escape the storm and find something very, very awake.
From the storm, but we found a ridge.
And you're back to us. Okay, well it seems like maybe now Brent's got the gremlins and not us, so I'm sure he's busy fighting them off, us are jumping onto his vehicle and everything else. I wonder what it is. But in the meantime, let's just look at the beautiful light that's coming in between the trees. It's just that bit of last golden light that we see. And you see, you can start seeing the dim blue starting to go down, and the sky is starting to take on that pinkish color as the sun just goes down. I don't think we're going to be able to see a proper sunset today. I think we're just a bit too far away from all the spots where we would be able to see what's left of the sun actually going down. But it is stunning, isn't it? Guy, in this part of South Africa, the winter is the dry season, so it will not rain for the next few months. Sometimes we have odd showers around about September, but we shouldn't have any rain until maybe late October, November. And the rain's finished, I would say, around about April, May, because they were quite late this year, so they arrived a bit late and they pretty much left a bit late too. So it is the dry part of winter. That's why everything that you see around here, you see a lot of trees don't have leaves, or the trees that do have leaves have very short leaves, or you can see all of the grass and pretty much all of the scenery around us is starting to take on that beautiful yellow color. It's only green during the summer. Let's see if maybe we can drive you closer to some of the grass. Also, we are in a bit of an open area over here, so a lot of animals come up and down because it is so open and lots of water around here, so it's frequently used. You see? We've seen all of the bigger goslings for the Egyptian geese. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the name, and now we see a little line of all of them together. Aren't they sweet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, I think, all following their mother. I wonder if they were here when we saw them, because when we drove past I didn't really notice them, so likely they were just in the mud, just sitting down, waiting for the parents. Oh, look at those tiny little fluff tails. It'll still take them a few months just to start getting the colors. They still got a lot of downy feathers, but you see they are big enough to start following the mother around when she goes into the water. So at this time of the year, many things could get them. I mean, they are still tiny and pretty and small and easy prey for a lot of the animals around. So anything like a leopard would be able to get to them. Crocodiles, of course. Some species of eagle could get to them when they were smaller. Perhaps something like a genet or a mongoose could try and get to them. But I think now that they've gotten slightly bigger, maybe their biggest concerns will be the crocodiles, because they will be starting to spend a lot more time in the water. Because they are so tiny and fluffy and inexperienced, maybe they don't really know exactly what they're supposed to be doing all the time. Aren't they pretty? And they're all very clean. They're all grooming themselves. I'm sure they've learned a few things from their mother, who's busy trying to train them into adulthood. I think they're all still of a white and brown color, but obviously as time carries on, they're going to start losing their beautiful downy feathers, and they're going to get their normal big feathers. These guys over here, on the other hand, the big hippos, they don't really represent much of a threat for the Egyptian geese. And it's almost like they've been having a conversation the last few minutes that we've been here. Because now, well, just now they were all facing each other, and then they'll go up, and then they'll go down, and then they'll expel some water and go like, boo, 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 boo. And they carry on going up and down. So I wonder if the conversation's quite entertaining, because for a moment there it was. Maybe they were having some tea. If you guys have any questions about Chitwa Dam or the beautiful birds that we're seeing, or Africa in general, please do feel free to use the hashtag #SafariLive and send your questions. We'll be more than happy to try and answer them for you. Or if you've got any comments, we also love hearing from you. Hello, Hippo. Iradine, this particular dam is named after the lodge that it is in. And how did the lodge get the name? I'm not too sure. Sometimes some of the lodges just choose a flagship animal that they like, or the landowners will choose, for example, oh, that's a tiny hippo at the back. I got very excited. I don't know why. For a moment there I thought it was an otter. So I must be seeing things. So yeah, a lot of the lodges, they will just choose something that they feel represents them. It could be an animal, and a giraffe in this case. It could be a hippo or a cheetah, and then they'll just normally name the lodge or the pan that is closest to them after the lodge. If not, a lot of the times they'll just use something characteristic around them, or something that is easy to identify the dam with. So we'll have, I don't know, big dam, red dam, and they all reflect some sort of very, very obvious thing, so that everybody knows when you're talking about a certain dam that is a particular dam that you're talking about. In this case, well, like I said, we are in front of Chitwa Lodge, so that's why this is called Chitwa Dam. It's one of the bigger dams around here. I think the tiny baby might be playing around. I wonder if maybe they're just starting to get ready to come out, or almost there, because the hippos are nocturnal creatures, so they'll come out only during the night, and then they'll start feeding all around. So if you see around the lodge, there is actually a fence just to try and to protect the guests from the hippos walking in, I would say. I wonder. I think they're all at the back. I think we're still a bit early. I don't believe they're going to be coming out of the water just yet. Nolene, they spend time out of the water when they go feeding. So now hippos tend to be nocturnal creatures, although in winter we start seeing them move around a bit more throughout the day. But they eat grass, so they will wait until nightfall, until the sun is not shining anymore and it doesn't dehydrate them as quickly as it would if they got out during the day. And then they will start feeding on the grass close to the dam or the pan where they live. So at this time of the year, because the grass is quite dry and they don't have as much grass in the usual places, they will have to go further and further away just to be able to eat as much as they need to. So I think in some areas they're able to walk maybe up to 10 kilometers away from water, so about, I would say, I don't know if that's 4 or 6 miles, but somewhere around there. And for the little ones, well, they will obviously always go with the mother, because the mother is still there to protect them. But just as they start getting older and older, then they'll start becoming a bit more independent and start eating a bit further away from mom, until eventually they start pretty much doing it on their own. Ah, look, he's giving us a big yawn. What a brave little hippo. And of course, the Egyptian geese at the back. I think there must be over 50 or 60 all around this dam, probably even more. All playing around. Isn't that a pretty view? Now they're all looking at us. Hello. Are you guys up for some tea? Or are you going out for dinner soon? We will, I think, abandon these hippos because they don't really want to invite us over to have tea or dinner with them. And we'll go to Tayla, who's got a beautiful setting sun.
We do, and it's one of the few points where you can see straight over the horizon. It is lovely. Now, it's setting over a smaller section of the Drakensberg at the moment. And it is just so peaceful. Now, this is the time of the day that we do, of course, need to start listening. Because if anything's going to start calling, now would be the perfect time. And there are also a couple of Impala rams just playing about here this afternoon. It's lovely, don't you think, with the sunset? And look what I found, Dwarf Mongoose. Look at this. Just down over there, there's a whole family of Dwarf Mongoose getting ready to go to bed. Now, Juan, you're wondering how many hours of light do we have at this time of the year? And the answer to that is actually not very many at all, because it's only just getting light at about 20 past 6 in the morning, and then it sort of starts to get dark. What's the time now? The time is now 10 past 5. In the next 20 minutes or so. So about 5:30, it's fairly dark already. So let's go. Let's say 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have about 11 hours, say 10 and a half to 11 hours of light at the moment. So it's not particularly much. But look at all these boys gathering now, and I love this time of the day because this is when all the animals get so frisky. They can sort of get one burst of energy before the sun goes down. Now boys, you better stop playing and start focusing, because you don't have the upper hand at night once the sun does disappear and it becomes completely dark. But leopards have got a much better hand at night at seeing in the dark, and there were reports of one in the area. Now I did chat to Darby from Elephant Plains and asked him if there was any more sort of reports of Tingana, but unfortunately they haven't relocated him this afternoon, so he could have moved during the day. It's not impossible, so he might just be around here. So we're going to do lots of circling in Western Gowrie. What you looking at, boy? No, it's not uncommon for Impala or the various animals just to sort of stare off into the distance. They're just making sure, sort of how when I pick up my pair of binoculars or my camera to zoom into something when I think I've spotted a lion or a leopard and it's just a termite mound. I think they do the same thing. I think they just sort of stare and go, looks very lion-like, but it isn't. It's like that very funny video about the wildebeest. Is it a log or is it a crocodile? Now, Barbara, you're wondering if there's any differences between the animals here in Djuma and in the Mara. Well, that depends with what you're talking about. If you're talking about behavior or diet, most certainly, because we don't have the same types of vegetation that we have here that you do in the Mara. It's obviously a lot more open, a lot more grass, sort of grassland savanna, versus we have sort of a woodland savanna, slightly different. And so the diet may be a little bit different, and I don't think there's any big marula trees. I've never been to Kenya before, and so we've got lots of them, so there's lots of fruit and things for the various animals to eat. And of course, behavior is almost area specific, so that's why when you read these different mammal books, it's very important, and you'll notice that the authors often put whereabouts they observed those animals, because it does vary from area to area. So for instance, the impala might behave differently here versus the impala in Kenya or in Zambia or elsewhere. And these boys are just having an evening tussle. What are you boys doing now? I'm going to sit quietly because it's so cool. You can hear their horns when they do clash, and hopefully they'll lock horns again. It's such a lovely sound. Oi, you two, put your horns together. There's another two on the left that have decided to do that. There we go, just to the left. There they are. Maybe we'll be able to hear them. No, I think it might just be a little bit too far away. Now, they're not having a real fight. They're really just playing around. This is a bachelor herd of impala. So it would be a real fight if there was a herd of females around that they'd be fighting about. But we're going to move on from these impala, and like I said, we're going to twist and wind through the various roads on Western Gowrie and hopefully find a leopard or a lion. But it seems as though the Kenyan team is back up and running, and let's go and see how their afternoon has been treating them.
The hyena running across the road in front of us is absolutely amazing. It's been such a busy full day. My first proper sighting of the front runners of the migration. There goes the hyena.
Bye, Howard.
Bye, hyena. Brent says bye, Howard. There have been so many hyena. Everywhere you drive, there's just a head that pops up unexpectedly out of the grass. So obviously, Brent's told you we're racing back away from the storm. Well, yes, sorry, I keep forgetting. We're racing into the storm. Contrary to all logic, but home is that way, so we're going to be racing into the storm. Obviously, just had my over the next few days and the next few weeks as the wildebeest and zebra start to make their way further across, but closer in our direction. Because at the moment we travelled, how long did we travel?
Today we've done 107 60 odd kilometers.
Okay, we've done about 160 odd kilometers today. So nothing is close in this place, but that's what makes it so much fun. There's so much space around us.
The local migration is here.
There's the local migration. The permanent wildebeest and zebra that stick around this area apparently, and then at this time of year they come down out of the escarpment and down onto the open area.
How's that done?
Lean back slightly.
Oh, there you go, bro.
There's only so flat I can be. How's that, Dave? Alice, are you still there? I know the call's still on. I can't hear anything from Alice. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's Alice. There we go. Oh, we're racing. This is yes, Alice, thanks, I can hear you. This is my shuka that Brent bought me that keeps me warm because the temperatures fluctuate greatly. In the middle of the day,
Hello everybody, it seems as though the gremlins are not liking Kenya and they're not liking Ali. We'll have to have a word with them. We're going to have to figure out some new techniques as to how to keep those critters at bay. But sorry about that, but you're back with me. You're just going to have to enjoy the sound of my voice. Now we are driving on Aubrey's Road at the moment. Oh, I can even put a light on now. It's getting so dark. And I haven't seen any more lion tracks just yet. No new developments. So we're just going to take it very easily, like I said, and wind along these roads. And hopefully we'll catch them getting up and moving. But I think where we'll end off, the next road is we'll go down Gallagher Shortcut and then we will go towards Gallagher Pan. That's the sort of closest water hole, though there is another one not too far from here, just off into the distance. It's more of a mud wallow though. There isn't much water in there, but that wouldn't stop a lion or a leopard from drinking in it. So we're going to just go around here. And then also this is the same area where we saw the civet the other evening. And I have been seeing that civet's tracks every morning just outside camp and around the surrounding areas. So I think, again, if we just drive round and around, we're bound to bump into one of the animals, as I mentioned before. But we'll just take it as it comes. But just check very carefully. This is really tricky. My eyes are getting sore now, squinting looking for lions. Now, Michael, I know you were wondering if we could spend some time at the hyena den. I unfortunately cannot go there. And the reason why I won't be able to go there is because I don't have an infrared light. So Ali is going to have to go there, and that cub is too young to put a spotlight on it, and it's going to be very, very difficult to see them in the next 15 minutes or so. It's going to be dark. So yes, I'm sure we could, if we ask Ali very, very nicely, I'm sure she wouldn't mind popping past the hyena den again, and hopefully she'll get lucky. She seems to be the only one that's lucky with the hyenas. Every time I go there, there's nothing there. So I will be searching on this side. So like I said, we're just waiting for Opa, who's our mechanic, to come back from leave, and he handles all the welding, and then he's going to weld another bracket onto our new cameras, because we've only had them for about a week now, and then we'll have our infrared light up and running again. We will get that sorted. But for now, we just have to use our handy old spotlight and the LEDs on the sides of the cars, and that's more than enough. Lovely. So Ali's coming back again into the land of the living, or the land of no gremlins, hopefully. Let's hope it's that area. Let's see. So we're coming up to the cut line. We're not too far away now. We're just on the fire break, but I'm going to carry on towards the cut line, and then we'll just check it again, because I can see quite far down back towards Sydney's Dam, and if there is anything crossing in the distance, I want to be able to spot it. I feel like I'm a little bit of a meerkat, because all my head is doing this. Like I'm sort of, oh no, that wasn't good. I did that so quickly my eyes stayed at the back of my head. That's bizarre. Right, we won't be doing that again. Okay, we just check down there. It's so far. Let's see if there's anything crossing the road. That's how I spotted the lioness the other night. No, there's nothing. Nothing crossing. Woo, let's go through the trees. Watch out. Wendy's a Titanic and takes ages to turn, so I just thought I'd go underneath that bush willow. Like I said, Ali is back in the land of the living, and I'm sure, Michael, if you ask Ali now, she'll go to the hyena den. I'm sure she will, but let's go and find out what her plans are.
Well, we are a bit far from the hyena den, so we suggest if maybe Taylor's closer by that she goes and have a look, because we are pretty much on the opposite end of Djuma to try and get to the hyena den. So if Taylor doesn't check, then we can try, but I can't really make any promises at this stage because we're very far away. There were more hyena tracks leaving the den this morning as we were driving, so we will be seeing. If not, then I'm sure at some point we can make our way towards there. Although that little cub is very, very sweet, but he's proving to be quite shy. I think maybe he's just been enjoying playing around in the middle of the day where we can't normally see him. Oh, just some trees around here that we're trying to avoid. And another one here. Kimberly, you'd like to know what the hardest part of the job is? I'm not sure. Obviously, this job has got very positive things, like a lot of negative things. I would say maybe one of the parts that I struggle with is just how cold I get in the mornings when we go out for the drive, and that's why I end up looking like a marshmallow, because I pretty much wear everything I own. So that's the one part that I don't enjoy. And then the other part is where animals become sneaky, and then you look for them, and you know, but it's almost, it's not the bad part, but it's almost like a competition, and you're just like, oh, I just want to find them. So I think maybe sometimes the weather plays a bit against our favor, but other than that, I don't know. I think that's probably it. I cannot think of really bad things to do. I mean, it's like a lot of people say, if you love what you're doing, it doesn't really feel like a job. So I think the good outweighs the bad by far. It's the reason why I'm still doing this job and why I love it, and why I don't care that I'm freezing, or why I don't care that, you know, the Leopard gave us a flat tire or anything else. It's just because it's something that we're really passionate about. It's something we really enjoy doing. So I would say maybe being away from family and friends for so many weeks at a time, that does also get a bit hard. But I don't know. I hope that answers your question. I haven't really thought about it, because there are two sides to every coin. So for everything that we think that we might not be entirely happy about, then, you know, as soon as you see an animal doing something amazing, then you forget all about it. So I hope that answers your question. That's, I think, the best way that I can answer it. Just being away from family, getting cold, and then sometimes not being able to find the animals that you want to find, but then when you do find them, then reward is so much better. We'll see. Like today, we've had a lovely afternoon despite all the gremlins trying to get us. Catherine, you'd like to know how many guides there are on Safari Live? Well, we can count them. There's me, Tristan, Brent, Jamie, Tayla, who's also with me, and well, we've got Byron that should be coming in soon enough, and then of course Steph, who's very good at doing bushwalks, and James. Oh my goodness, how could I almost forget James? I don't think he'll forgive me. So 8 of us at the moment, and we're gonna be split in between here and the Mara, just trying to make sure that everybody gets the best experience possible, because we're very excited about being able to show another very, very famous part of Africa. So I think that is quite amazing, the fact that you guys are able to see everything from all the way across the world, and just, you know, swap in between pretty much two completely different sides of the continent, because we go from all the way of the south to pretty much all the way to the east. So not bad, hey? 8 of us, and I think we're 4 and 4 at the moment. 4 boys and 4 girls. No, 3 girls. I made up a girl. I'm sorry, you guys can choose which one of the boys is actually a girl. So if you want to let us know which of the boys you think should actually be a girl, I would love to hear all about it, so that I can tease them a bit later. So please do let me know. I don't know, I'm not gonna say anything, because then I'm gonna get in trouble with all of them, and they're all bigger than me, so I don't really want to do anything to upset them. Right, Seems like our bumble has taken us not too far from the hyena den, so we can go and have a look. Just want to make sure that there's nobody in there. Is there anyone at the Missy Kaya at the moment? Copy, thank you. Alright. Seems like there's nobody around there, but apparently one of the adults was there. So fingers crossed we'll be able to get there and maybe see the tiny little one or one of the bigger ones and just find out who's who and what's happening and why they've been playing so much at night that they're not there in the mornings when we go looking for them. And I had a bit of hope that maybe that elusive leopard had come back all the way here, but I don't think it's going to be. So I'm just gonna let her be a leopard and be wild and just wonder and ponder about where she's going and what she's been up to. I do think that it's a very good sign that we saw a shadow this morning carrying that scrub hair all the way and for as far as she did. So it's a very good indication that there's a high possibility of the cub still being fine, because why else would she drag, or why else would she take that little kill that she made all the way and pretty much cross all of Djuma just to get there. So I think I'm quite happy with the results of what we managed to see, and I'm sure you guys, I saw some of the screenshots and the sighting look very, very cool. So I'm sure all of you were quite excited this morning when, you know, all of a sudden she popped up with this scrub hair on her mouth. Although quite sad for the little scrubby. But oh well, we're getting into the hyena den now, or well, onto the road that's gonna lead us there. So hopefully there will be something around. We drive past here every day, but I think the trees are getting thicker instead of actually getting thinner. Don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just getting the angle wrong. Alright, we are almost there. I would say about maybe 10 seconds away from the den. Let's see if there's anyone here that would like to say hello to us. Seems like there isn't anyone. Suzanne, a hyena's gestation, you're wondering. I think it's about 6 months, or is it around 4? Sorry, the words have completely escaped my mind, so I'm not too sure, to be quite honest. So I'm gonna check quickly on my book so that I can give you an answer, because I have the idea for a lion gestation and a leopard gestation in my head, which is it's about 3 months, but I don't know why I can't think of it. I think this book is broken. This is Tristan's book. He should be ashamed of keeping books in such condition. Let's see. Maybe we'll be able to find it here. So I don't think the adults are here unless she's gone somewhere else or she's lying somewhere around here. So I'm just gonna look for the answer to your question on the book quickly. 336. And then we're gonna go off. Because if she's not here by now, we're gonna go around in the hopes that maybe she's lying on the other side of the mound. But if she's not here, then we're not gonna stick around. Let's see. Spotted hyena. Doesn't want to really tell me. Social ecology, activity, hunting and eating behavior, social behavior. We're getting there, guys. I'm sorry. Doesn't really tell me. How is that? Tells me everything but the gestation period. Alright, I promise I will find the answer for you. I do think it's just a few months, so very close to a cat or a dog. I don't think it'll be as much as 5 months. I think it'll probably be somewhere around 3-4, but I don't know why. For some reason I just can't really think of it, and I don't want to lie to you and just make up an answer. So I will find out and let you know. I am quite embarrassed that I can't think of the words, but we'll see. Penny in the USA, thank you for helping me. I was having a very blank moment. So apparently 105 days. So that is 60, so it's 2, 3, yeah, about 3.5 months or so. Just watch out here. We're gonna leave the hyenas and see if maybe we can start scouting for some night animals. Maybe we can find where the girls have gone off to, but let's go to Tayla, who's on a mound.
I'm still searching for my night animals too. I think I've gone up and down WildEarthTV access about 20 times tonight, but I'm going to do it now for the 21st time, and we're going to go back down towards the gate again, and then along Triple M, and then I'm going to come up again, I think on Impala Plains Road. I think, what's that? No, I think I've been seeing lots of sticks and things that keep resembling all sorts of animals, but unfortunately it's not anything. Oh, I want to change my mind. You see, no, let's stick to my guns. I all of a sudden saw Zoe's Road and thought, oh, let's go down Zoe's Road. But let's not. But let's do the power lines. Let's do it the other way around. Let's go down to the power lines, all the way around to Gary Main, to Triple M, because there's a car coming just in front of us on WildEarthTV access. So we'll let them carry on. And then we'll come and inspect around here. And hopefully we're going to find either our friend the civet, maybe a porcupine. Ooh, yes. James, you've said perhaps we'll have honey badger sightings on camera this evening. Wouldn't that just be fantastic? I would, and Ali should keep an eye out because she's right near where I saw that honey badger last night. And I think Jamie has seen a honey badger in that particular area too. So it was just at the Shibamu Savages track junction with the Philemon's cut line, just sort of in that little triangle that it was running around. I didn't see two. I didn't see many. I thought I just saw one. I did see one. Come on now, Tayla. But that was it. So I don't know if it was a male or a female. Quite difficult to tell the sexes of a honey badger, unless you see one and maybe you see three honey badgers together. Then your guess would be mom and youngsters. However, otherwise, like I said, it's quite difficult. Just quickly listening. No, not talking about anything we can get to. Now, David, you've suggested that Ali and I have a chameleon competition. I'm always up for a competition of any sort. I don't mind losing so much. So, Ali, I challenge you to a chameleon off. So let's see who can find the first one. Obviously, the whole thing is that you've got to find as many as you can. Let's see if we can even spot one this evening. We might be lucky. It's nice and warm. It's actually not too cold tonight. It's quite pleasant. Last night I had already put my green jersey on as well underneath my little bomber jacket thing, whatever you call these types of jackets. So I'm quite enjoying this. I don't like to be all sort of bulked up. I find it quite restricting. So let's keep searching here. I'm really hoping, if anything, that we're going to find Tingana, because I would like to see him. It's been a couple of days now. Actually, I don't know when last Tingana was stood. I think Tristan is the Tingana whisperer, as far as I'm aware. He always seems to do a sterling job at spotting him. So there's some female leopard tracks. I actually saw them earlier, but I think they are shadows. I shall show you in the spotlight, because tracks at night can actually look quite nice. If I haven't driven over them. Did I drive over them? No, I didn't. So if you look very carefully over there, you're actually going to see two predators tracks. Where that big one that you're looking at now, that's a lion track that's coming towards us. You can just see the pads of its feet. But if we go down a little bit to where the black dot is of the spotlight, if you zoom in right there, that track over there, that is a leopard track. There was some Impala making strange noises, but it seems as though they're just chasing each other around again. So there we go. So those are some tracks, but I think that they're from Shadow from earlier today. She was looking for her scrub hair. Right. Ooh. Now, making me use my brain, Canada, you're wondering if you're allergic to house cats, would you be allergic to wild cats like lions? I don't know. Maybe. I have a slight allergy. I do sneeze around cats, but I sneeze for so many different things. It's actually ridiculous. So maybe, I don't know. I haven't particularly noticed sneezing around any of those animals before, but also I haven't spent enough time with him, I think, to develop an allergy. So I'm actually not sure on that. I'm sure you know who would be the best person to ask? It's none of us, but anybody that's ever worked in a zoo before and actually has had, or a rehabilitation centre, and say has had proper hands-on and constant interactions with say like lions and stuff like that. Maybe they were injured, there was a little scrub hare that ran across the road, or perhaps they cannot be released in the into the wild, they were rescued from a circus, something along those lines. I reckon that type of person would be the best one to ask. I unfortunately don't know the answer to that at all. Maybe, does anybody out there know the answer? Hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, of course. If you do know, if you're allergic to house cats, can you also be allergic then to wild cats like lions and tigers and leopards? It'd be quite interesting to find that out. Now we're almost back at Triple M, and I really hope that there's going to be a surprise of some sort just waiting for us on the road or walking through the nice long grass. Because I feel like we're lucky. I did say that I wasn't set out to see cats. I was looking for elephants and buffalo and things, and we got the elephants. We didn't get the buffalo though, but we did have some very nice elephant sightings. I thoroughly enjoyed that little opportunity we got to watch the little ones play with the buffalo bones. That was quite cool. But we're also looking for chameleons. I might go to an old favourite spot of mine. That means we've got to go all the way back towards the gate. Forgotten what I'm trying to say now, because there's a couple of chameleons that live on the various trees there. Right, let's start scanning. Now there's lots of drainage systems here. You're not a snake, you're a stick. Try to fool me. We'll just keep scanning in the drainage lines and just see if anybody's going to pop out of them. But now Tingana is sneaky. You know, it's so hard to try and guess as to where he's going to go, because you think you know his movements and then he changes it all up again, and he does that to us very, very often. So I'll just keep going. I don't even know where his favorite crossing point is these days, because like I said, every time I think I've worked it out, next time he does something completely the opposite. We'll see. It's dark now, not too dark. I can still sort of see with my eyes and no lights. It's not too bad. We're going to give it another bash. It seems as though Jamie and Brent are getting soaked in the Mara. Let's go look at the drowned rats.
She windscreen wiper is going to make me go nuts.
Alright, so the rain has arrived. Brent is talking away quite happily, quite merrily. And what he's talking about is his favourite part of Chiku. Now Chiku is the vehicle that we're in, and Brent's favourite part of Chiku is the windscreen wiper. As you can see, we only have one on one side, so if I wanted to look out of the windscreen, I can't.
I have to leave forward.
And the fun part about Chiku's windscreen wiper is that it often doesn't stay on unless you hold the switch up, which means anywhere out there. So Brent has to time it by flicking it, which
And also the squeak. Squeak, 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 squeak.
We also just had to try and get my passenger window up. Now this is the handle to the passenger window, and this is a Leatherman, and that's what we used. Now James, you want to know the rainy season in the Mara, when it is? There's actually two. There's the sort of the main big rains, which technically should end around now. Actually should have ended around May. So they go from around about the beginning of year, hit their peak in March, April. Uh-oh, man on a motorbike, two men on a motorbike. In the mud.
Slippery.
Oh, careful, careful.
Hola, buddy. Bombo.
And then after that they have their dry season. Sorry James, got distracted by the motorbikes that are basically used as private transport.
Taxis.
It's taxis. They're a taxi. And then you have the small rains, is that what they call them? It's the small rains.
Small rains.
In November. That comes as a huge relief, I think, to all of the people and the animals here, as they come right at the sort of the end of the dry season. So they get a little bit of rain there, helps make everything nice and green once again.
I'm very happy with myself.
You're very happy with
I
yourself?
managed to switch it off at the right time.
Oh, well done. Has it stopped raining? No, it's just a calm before the storm.
Flirting around the edge of the main rain at the moment.
Flirting around the edge of the rain. Right, well, we're going to have to go straight through the rain.
We are, unfortunately. So it looks like we're going to have to cross the Mara River in a little bit. Once we pass the village of Mara Rianta. And once we're through Mara Rianta, we go across a low water bridge. Across the Mara River. Sorry. And you've got to be quite careful about that bridge. Because the Mara River comes from the Mao Highlands. And if the Mao Highlands get a lot of rain and flood, we have to sleep on this side. And the guest houses are interesting.
Yes, let's put it that way. Interesting. Alice, sorry, you just said something to me and I have no idea what it was.
Ooh, slippery. Yeah, we are driving sideways now, guys. So important never to hit the brakes when you're in the mud. Because as soon as you hit the brakes, you lock it and you can slide the vehicle all the way. But if you've driven in mud or snow, actually, it's quite similar. It's quite fun.
I have a terrifying suspicion that I'm going to be the next person to get stuck, because I have not driven in the mud since I came to Djuma basically. You don't really drive in the mud in Djuma, not all that often. The biggest chance you have of getting stuck at Djuma is an aardvark hole. But out here, the road is slowly but surely washing away. This is a very exciting journey. I've actually completely forgotten where we are. What's the gate called?
We went through Musiara again.
Musiara, and that's the one that there's a cheetah named Musiara.
Musiara had 5 cubs when I arrived. We saw them from a distance the one day, and she now has 1 cub. So very difficult for a cheetah to raise cubs in this area. So many lions, so many hyenas.
Shame. I have to say, in this confined space, usually we have the windows open and we have the roof open. I have to say it's now it's gone from quite chilly to now stuffy, substantially stuffy. And the roof patches actually have to stand on our seats in order to talk to you through the roof. There's motorbikes on the other side of the road,
and they really don't like our brights. We've added an extra bright LED.
It's like being at home with Wendy and Rusty's lights.
And I normally remember to turn them off, but sometimes I forget, especially when I'm concentrating. Because also those lights give me the chance to avoid chasms in the road.
And otherwise, what else can I tell you? Oh,
we're in Mara Rianta now.
We're in Mara Rianta. I did not know that. We learned something new. It's a village. This is our Mara Triangle sticker. Darby's out the window.
Yes, the last time Dave and I actually drove down this road at about this time of the day, it wasn't raining, but we hit a serious traffic jam. There must have been about 300 fat-tailed sheep, goats, and cows, and they were not moving for us. They decided the road was theirs.
That's a very familiar traffic jam that we've all been in. Alright, everybody, I think that Brent and myself need to focus on getting ourselves home, and so we're going to say farewell to you for now, but who knows what exciting things the Mara has in store for us when we rejoin you tomorrow for the sunrise safari. But it sounds as though the competition is heating up between Tayla and Ali.
Alright, sorry guys, I'm just getting an update from Taxon. Taxon, sorry, go ahead. Okay, copy, then I'm gonna carry on coming, I'll see you shortly. Alright, sorry about that. It seems like while we were busy trying to get all the chameleons just to beat Tayla on the challenge, there's been a leopard spotted not too far away from here, so we're gonna quickly go that way, see if maybe we get lucky with some spots for the day. I'm not gonna stop for too much, so I'm hoping we'll see him. Apparently it's a male, so we can start making guesses of who it might be, but I just want to make sure we get there quite quickly because he's not too far from the boundary, so I'd rather we don't lose him before he goes somewhere else. I think all my radios and everything is tangled now. Alrighty. Whoop. Alright. Let's go. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to focus very hard on driving as quickly as I can, just to be able to get to this particular sighting, because hopefully he'll stay on the road and he'll be quite friendly to us. I think some of the guys heard him call earlier on. Hello little nightjar, off you go. We don't really want to push you off the road, but we are trying to get there. Let's see. We shouldn't be too far away now. Almost there, guys. So carry on with your positive thinking. And hopefully we'll get some spots this afternoon other than the butterfly spots. What else have we seen today that's got spots? The green-winged petilia had spots too. Alright, we've just got an update from Tax, who believes this is Tingana. This is Tingana. It seems in full fashion as always he likes to find us. Just as night falls and just as our drive starts closing in. Let me just try to get hold of Taxon. I'm on the fire break now. I'm just coming east. Okay, Gabi, I've got your visual. Alright. Thank you. Yay! Alright guys, I see the lights at the end of the road. Almost there. I see some flashes. Alright guys. I am so excited. Maybe we'll see some spots. Seems some kudu spotted him. Don't know. I see his shadow walking on the road. Hang on guys, I'm sure we'll be able to get a view in a few seconds. I don't know if maybe you can get it. He's just across the road in front of us. Alright, there are two vehicles following him, so we're just gonna let the guys also have a bit of a look. They did help us and called us in. There are the spots for the day. I am very, very excited right now. Alright, let's see how this plays out. I'll go back. James Richard, last minute title. It is for Tingana, but it's, you know, we always prefer last minute than no minute at all. There he goes. Right guys, I'm just going to try and get us a possible view of him. Sorry, I need both my hands right now so that I can drive properly and just get him. He is going to move in front of us in the next few seconds. Like I said, he's not far from the boundary. There he goes. Hello, Tingana. Nice to see you. There's a very big hole in front of us, so I can't really follow him there. So I'm just gonna have to carry on and do the big loop around. Come on, Tingana. Stay on the road. He is... No! Don't go into Buffalo's Hook! Stay! I think maybe, you see, it's... Okay, I can see his shadow walking on the road again. So I'm sure he's just busy walking in between the two cars. Copy. Hello, thank you.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I said Tayla, sorry.
I know it gets confusing on the radio.
Don't if you just said the leopard, don't worry if I'm calling you Tayla or what.
I don't worry, you found us a leopard, so I'm very thankful. Thank you, Tax. Alright, enough chit chat. There we go. Yes, we will manage to get a very nice view as he goes strolling and marking his territory. There he goes. He is quite majestic, isn't he? I'm so happy we got all the spots. Yay! Alright. I'm not too sure where he plans on going because he normally does quite a big loop around, and he was seen on Simbambili this morning, so I'm pretty sure he was just very happy somewhere else and now he's just carried on. So I wonder where he's gonna go onto, because like I said, on the left hand side, very close to where he's walking, that's Buffalo's Hook. Let's see, in Devon, I'm not too sure how many leopards there are in the reserve. I think in every particular area that we're in, we see maybe 20 to 30 habituated leopards, but not too sure what the latest Panthera report states about how many leopards there are in a specific area. I'll have to check with them and then I'll be able to let you know. But in this particular area, I think maybe there are about 10-20 of them. Are you fine?
Yeah.
Alright. I see some Impala that have spotted the leopard and they're just busy alarm calling. Alright, we've had a very good view, and I'm sure Tex wants to try and have one last look before he carries on. All yours. So, just gonna go on the one side of the road and we're gonna go onto the other side of the road, because for now he's being very friendly to all of us and just has carried on walking down the road. So I just want to make sure that as many of us as possible can enjoy the sighting. We're gonna see where Tingana goes and what he gets up to tonight, whereas he'll carry on onto Buffalo's Hook Dam or he'll cross somewhere else. But let's see how many chameleons Tayla has managed to find for us, because she is definitely very good at spotting them.
0, not 3, 0 chameleons, Ali. I was too busy trying to chase after a white-tailed mongoose. I went exploring on quarantine. I saw a white-tailed mongoose very, very briefly, and then Senzo and I were desperately trying to catch up to it to try and put it on screen, but the grass is just too long. We need about another 3 weeks or so, another month, before the grass is going to be at an ideal length that we'll be able to easily spot the nocturnal creatures. And so I left it alone in the end. Actually, I didn't leave it alone. It outsmarted me and hid, and I couldn't find it again. But anyways, let me check my spot here for chameleon. Maybe I can pull one out of my sleeve very quickly. You never know. I checked it again here the other evening and it hadn't been around. But I must tell you that I am so excited that Ali finally got to see a leopard, because she's been waiting for a very long time now. And well, if you want to see an impressive leopard, Tingana is definitely the one to see. So well done, Ali. I knew he was around there. He was just sneaky. So he obviously moved on to the property during the day, because we drove up and down those roads like you cannot believe looking for him. We drove Gallagher shortcut 3 times today. We drove Aubrey's Road 3 times, and he just went, oh yeah, can you Tayla? Right, she's gone. I'm gonna move now. and bobbing in between as we go about. Well, it seems as though I cannot find you all a chameleon tonight, but tomorrow is always another day. I'm going to send you back across with Annie and Tingana.
Yes, last minute Leopard it is. Well, hello to you. He has just been patrolling his territory, so he's walking around, then he brushes his face against some of the plants and the bushes on the side of the road, and then he scent marks, and then he's just been carry on. So I'm sure we've just got him at a very good time where he's just busy moving and making it well known to all the other potential males around the area that he is here and he is the dominant male. So I wonder if there's going to be anyone else that's going to come around and just, you know, try and challenge him. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Only us. He's been challenging us all day long, him and his other spotted friends, because they certainly have made us look hard for them, but we were rewarded both in the morning and in the afternoon with 2 amazing and very spectacular cats. So I'm very, very happy that we managed to at least grab a glimpse of this boy and just see that he's doing very, very good. Wonder what it is. Maybe he spotted something over there that he would like to have a look at. Hello. I think he is slowly going to start heading into areas where we cannot go. So how amazing has this been, just to be able to follow him around just for a little bit, just to remind us all that he's still around now. We're going to be saying goodnight to all of you as Tingana walks into the night and lives a very happy evening. Good night to all of you.